Give me 1 second. We are going to do, we're just going to pull some of our oracle cards. We'll start with, damn, that face was aggressive coming out of the fridge. Okay, we're going to start with soul mission and past lives. Where am I at? So we'll do past lives, soul mission, and then we'll pull some love and relationship stuff. And it's not going to be very long, I promise. But I just wanted to check in. I just did a TikTok live just to see what that experience was like. Which is interesting because I don't know, I'm kind of used to Instagram and YouTube, but all right. So, soul mission. Your mission is to bring joy and laughter to those around you. Spread joy. You're here to break generational patterns and lead others to healing. Part of your mission is to help others navigate change and transformation. Embrace change. That could be tough, you know? You connect the spiritual and physical realms. Your insight is profound. Hold on. 1 second. All right. Sorry, I had to, I realized my Bluetooth was on and that doesn't have the best audio. So, all right, let's continue. So, right now we're on soul mission. You're here to teach others about love without conditions or expectations. Spread unconditional love. Express yourself through art, music, or creativity. It's part of your purpose. Which Libra full moon? Libra's Venus. So Venus is art, beauty, love. Your words and creations have the power to heal and inspire, write and create. And this could be anything as simple as just journaling, maybe, or you write a workshop, or you write a short story or a children's book, or you write on Substack and get a bunch of ideas out. But just know your words have power and they're being led to heal and inspire others. Your energy transforms spaces into havens of peace and healing. Create sacred spaces. So you got create and create. Do you know how powerful you are? Do you? Bottom of the deck. Your ability to hold space for others is a sacred gift. Spaces and spaces. Creativity, creative workshops, healing circles, grief circles, where they get to make an arts and crafts with their loved ones' belongings. That's creative and holding space. All right, let's do past lives. This one's fun. And you can order these decks at Souls and Stardust Podcast. You can book a reading, a live one, a video one, where we record it and send it out within a week. Or we have instant access video library where you can watch a bunch of little mini readings. All right. Say, what was I in a past life? So your purpose in this life is to heal and resolve karmic cycles. You may have been a victim or perpetrator of violence in a past life, so that might have been something that carried over into this lifetime. Maybe you feel oddly protective, or you feel like a victim of some sort that's carried over that has like no real attachment to this life, but you're like, where does this come from? It could be, you know, an interest in law, justice, advocating for people in this life. You lived a life focused on family and domestic responsibilities. And so, how's that going to carry over into your life now? Are you tired? Because it's like you've been doing this through multiple lifetimes. You're like, okay, I need a break. Or do you continue to have this nurturing feeling that, like, it doesn't matter, you know, you could be a 22-year-old man that's has no children, but all of it, you know, you have this, like, you know, inner knowing of, like, I just feel so nurturing and protective over these people in my life, even though, like, maybe they were kids in another life, or you guys were family, or you were the one responsible for, you know, farming and tending and nurturing and making sure everybody stayed fed. Maybe you were the mom, the wife that did everything, and somebody went off to war and you were stuck with the household responsibilities. And then this lifetime, you're like, I feel like I never get help, or I feel abandoned, or this or that. A karmic cycle is repeating itself. You're here to complete a specific task that began in a past life. Wonder what that is. You are a mystic or shaman connected to the spiritual realms. I believe that. I think that's why it comes back so easily to us in this life, because we've done it before. And then when we finally, like, what we consider like waking up or whatever, it's like it's just remembering what our soul already knew. Like I've had a past life reading done before, and it was like these different areas in my life where I got to practice meditation or practice manifesting, creating, building things. Bottom of the deck, you may have been a writer or communicator in a past life. There's a lot of stuff coming up about writing today. So let's do love and relationship. We're going to start with your girlfriend's no bullshit love oracle. We'll go into soulmates, twin flames. And then for those that are in no contact with somebody, we will pull those. And then we can do some quickies or whatever we have time for. All right. So of course we got to start with the OG. So cute. And I'm sorry if you're leaving comments. I cannot see my screen. But I love you. Have some fucking patience. All is aligning in divine timing. Yeah, but can we divine time it a little bit better and faster? An undeniable magnetic pull. But just remember, actions always speak louder than words. And bottom of the deck, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may look different than expected. So speaking of soulmates, let's go to the soulmates deck. So that'll be this one. So this will be messages from your soulmate. And I always say this, soulmate doesn't have to be romantic, but they can be just our very deep connections. So messages. Let's make memories that our souls will cherish, creating memories. I feel your energy even when we are apart, intuitive connection. My soul recognizes you. You are my home, soul recognition. Share your heart with me, it's safe here, embracing vulnerability. Open up, speak. My heart opens more deeply to you every day, opening the heart. And bottom of the deck. Bring lightness and joy into our connection, playfulness. Okay, and then next we'll do the twin flames. I never meant to make you feel abandoned. I was struggling with my own shadows. That definitely, like, feeling abandoned, it definitely brings up a lot of things. Self-worth, value, what has nothing to do with you. You are the first thing I think about when I wake up and the last before I sleep. I hope you're finding happiness even if it's without me. I still believe in us. Do you? Bottom of the deck. My heart still belongs to you no matter how much time passes. And if you are in a no contact relationship with somebody or friend or whatever, this is messages from that person. Everything happens for a reason, even in the separation, or even this separation. You already know the truth. Trust the whispers of your soul. Trust your intuition. And the answers you seek will come when the time is right. The clarity will come. Allow yourself to feel and release all emotions without judgment. Emotional release. You can go cry in the shower. It's okay. This space is allowing you both to breathe and find clarity. Breathing space. And bottom of the deck. You are evolving on a deep soul level, so trust the process. Okay, so this last deck I'm going to pull. Think of a question that you need some clarity on. This is going to be our quickies deck. These are kind of like yes, no, quick answers or questions to kind of help you come to your own conclusion. Whoa, that just flew out. So whatever your question was, there's a very clear, is this really what you want? Like, we think we know what we want, but sometimes we don't know what it all entails. That one interaction, one decision, one thing can affect and ripple like aftershocks. Is this really what you want? Oops. Boundaries, bitch. So again, set your standards, set your boundaries, your expectations, your requirements. No, are you effing kidding me? So it's something that whatever you were just thinking of, there's a solid no for that. Bottom of the deck. So this is opposite. So whatever something, bottom of the deck says F yes. So if there was an opposite, should I do this or that? No, yes. That's how I would see it. But questioning if this is really what you want, you have to set the line. And the last one, I have a mediumship development class that's on the 19th of every month. So we're going to use this deck amongst practicing and giving techniques for how to tap in and develop your psychic mediumship skills and kind of hone in on all that so you can download and deliver healing messages, whether for yourself or to hone in a skill or ability that you've already had that maybe you just like need to practice with people. So we just jump on Zoom on the 19th of every month. It's a free or pay what you can workshop. So that way, you know, there's no pressure. You can go to our website and under the events tab, you'll see the virtual events. So that's the 19th of every month. Mediumship development. Okay, so here's an exercise. So that's what this is. Their practice and exercise for intuition development. Okay, so I would start with just sitting, closing your eyes, and you can invite in, whatever it is, like if you want to connect into a spirit of your ancestors or a loved one that's crossed that you do know of. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can even pick somebody that you didn't know that you want to tap into, and or you can tap into the living and just get their general energy, not in an invasive way, but more like just reading into the back of the book and reading the summary. Excuse me. And then in that, while you're taking deep breaths, what I like to do in my brain is kind of imagine a radio and turning the volume down onto my own thoughts. That way I can turn the volume up onto whatever the energy or the spirit that wants to come in and connect. And so what this is saying is, now once you kind of get to that point where you're like, okay, I set the intention where all of my own emotions, thoughts are kind of pushed to the side, and I allow, my ancestor, my loved one, my spirit guide, whoever it is that you want to tap into, and I invite this energy into my being, so that I can fully, understand the messages that need to come through. And then while you're doing this, notice any body sensations that might be related to, like if you're connecting to somebody that was living, you just tap into like, where do I feel it in my body? Some people instantly turn super hot and the heat starts rising. That happens for me, where I get the heat that rises up my back when I'm tapping in. Like I can be completely cold, and then all of a sudden I'll just get this surge of heat that goes from down to up. And it's like while I'm channeling, it's super duper hot, and I can feel it in my hands and everything. And when I'm done, or when I can feel that person's energy or that kind of like subside, it's like I start getting cold all of us, again, or I've shivered before after readings, or just super weird. But just pay attention. Also, if you are going to be tapping into a loved one from the other side, um, whether this is your own or you're practicing with a friend and you're just like, hey, give me a photo of someone that crossed over, don't tell me anything about them, right? While you're noticing your body, ask them to show you, not with pain, but just with knowledge and maybe just a brief feeling, you know, either how they died or what they were like in their life. Like I use this story a lot, where I tapped into someone's like grandma or something, and it's immediately I can feel my body start craving all of this sugar all of a sudden. It was really bizarre. Like I was like, oh my God, I need sugar. And then I'm like in my cabinet, I'm like on the phone doing a reading for her, like a chat reading. And then I'm like raiding my pantry for sugar, not salty snaps. And then I mention it to her, like, is something significant about sweets? And she's like, oh my God, yeah, she was a baker and she died of diabetes and da 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 da. I'm like, okay, yeah, that hits, right? I've also had experiences where they've showed me how they passed, and I've, felt the heart palpitations, and then it turns out they died from like a heart attack, or I have felt, tasted asphalt and felt a heavy pain, like a deep pressure on my chest before, and it turned out that person actually like got run over by a car, and it went over their chest. Um, and this can even be anything, like maybe you're tapping into someone's grandma and they've had like arthritis or pain in their knee, or even if it's a living person and they're like, oh my God, you're talking to somebody and all of a sudden you're like, my left knee just started hurting. What's that from? And they're like, oh my God, my left knee hurts. So you're like, okay, I'm picking up on them. Ask for a spirit animal to step forward. So maybe in your meditation, or your, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to do 20 minutes of breathing, this and that. You can literally just sit there and close your eyes and ask for a spirit animal to step forward. Pay attention to the feelings and the automatic knowing that comes in. That's like the clairsentience, like the claircognizance, where you're like, okay, I just know that this is what's forming. Some people are not visual people, and so they're not going to see it in their third eye, because some people draw a blank when we tell them to visualize something. They're like, I can't. I just hear things, or I just taste things, or some people see in color, but they won't see objects. So um, ask for clues, ask for signs of this spirit animal, and then watch, all of a sudden you're like, I just saw the word fox 10 times today, or I just saw, dolphins randomly, like on 3 people that had dolphin tattoos. And so that leads you to go, okay, well, what does the spirit of this type of animal have to teach me? What are the lessons that they can provide for me for, this energetic space? Like, just because you're human in your outside form doesn't mean that your soul can't connect into any other sentient beings. So there's lessons, and they're going to teach you about, and look it up, look at their lifestyle, look at their personality, look at spiritually what they represent, what they have meant in other cultures. And I bet you're going to find some gems and information that's going to resonate and hit with your life right now. All right, healing. So ask spirit how you can help bring healing to someone today, and trust the guidance you receive. Now, spiritual consent is a thing. I'm big on that. So I would just do this within my own friend or family group that has already granted me permission to work on them or to heal them or to tap in for them. Like, I have some people who are literally like open all, like, if you ever get any messages from me, please deliver them. I'm like, okay, cool, like, no problem. And then, you know, their dad keeps coming through. So it's like I said, don't do this unless you're like, that person would be okay, you know. So again, the question is, how can I help bring healing to someone today? And then you're gonna sit, feel what kind of, like, I don't know. Some people imagine, like, if you have like an energetic ball and you're sending it. I do like a Care Bear stare. Like when I'm doing healing work, I almost picture it coming out of my chest like a Care Bear stare. Um, and you don't even have to be that person that has to go tell that person everything that you just saw, especially if they didn't ask for healing. This is a test to see if they come to you and bring it up and say, man, I've really been going through this. And you could be like, ah, that's why you were coming into my meditation the other day, or that's why I thought about you and just sent a bunch of healing light and positive thoughts and was just like, sending you love. Let it be validated that way. Do not be that person that pushes the validation outward. Call upon a wise ancestor for guidance. Ask, what wisdom do you have for me today? So this is interesting. And if you follow me on Instagram and you are part of my close friends list, you'll see that I've been digging into my family history and my lineage. And what kickstarted this whole thing was, I was praying to my ancestors, like, at the beginning. Like, my grandma's birthday was 4/1, and so it was right before then. So, like, end of March, I was praying to my ancestors. I want to know more about us. I want to learn. I want to connect. I want to, like, how the hell am I here today? Like, it's a miracle that we're even alive and existing when we are, how we are. Like, the amount of people that had to come together to make you happen is wild. Like, on an exponential, I'm not a math person, I'm a colors and feeling person, but like, I had ChatGPT run the numbers, and I'm like, for somebody to be related to me, 9th, 10th, 11th cousin, like, how many ancestors do we have to have for this to be a potential or a possibility? And it's insane to see the amount of connections and exact moments, and whether, you know we all know in history, whether they were consensual or through love, marriage, or political strategy, like, it still happened. You're still here. You still come from a line of something. And then it was my grandmother's, what would have been her 100th birthday, like, that week. And I was digging through, finding a photo to post for her birthday, and I saw my grandfather's birth certificate in my phone, and that kickstarted the whole, like, oh, what were his parents' name? What city were they from? Oh, I wonder if they're online. I wonder if I look deeper into this, what kind of stuff I would find out. And I think the whole reason I needed to go down this journey, because I needed to find out the strength and resilience that runs in my family. I needed to see the warriors, the fighters, the people who, now, whether or not I agree with the sides that they fought on, the fact that these were still farmers, land workers, landowners, business owners that were pushing through times of sickness, disease, war, you know, literal country tearing itself apart and can't agree on, one side or the other. But then I got to dig beyond that and see even further up into the lineage to see, like, holy shit, this line traces back to royalty of like kings and queens of Scotland and Ireland and England, and reading up on these people's personalities and what they fought for, what they believed in, and then just knowing like, wow, these are some things that come up in me that I deeply resonate with, where I'm like, I have this in me, right? So I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep fighting for my beliefs, and I'm going to keep fighting for this world that I'm trying to create and conquering my inner land, whether it's my